But in honesty, that's exactly what we are to each other, to our ego, to our wounds, to our shadow. We're a threat to each other because it is through us that we stir each other up and we provoke each other, and we are a catalyst to produce change and growth. So that the true light, not the manufactured light, right? The manufactured light that masks itself as religious ego or spiritual ego, that I got all my shit together and I'm perfectly fine and I'm content and I'm happy, and oh, look at all that evil over there, or making your light such a false light because you can't bear to look at your own shadow, and so that's all you're seeing. And then people who've done the work and they come into your life, they can see the fraud because they recognize the place that they were once at, that they've been working on, and it points the fraud still out in them, right? It's like, oh, I see that in you. I still have some of that in me, but I'm not going to judge you because the judgment is all meant for us on the inside. There's nothing about the external at all. Nothing. And until we can get there, until we can recognize us in our mirrors, we are never going to be able to understand the power of being transparent, the power of being authentic, and the power from living from the truth of our heart. Not your truth, not my truth, the truth. The capital T. That we are one love. Any thoughts on that? Because I do want to share some things about what happened in Colorado, and kind of some of the things that we shared about permission.
No, my heart's just oozing and flowing. Like. Have at it. Have the floor. I'd love to hear.
So when I was in Colorado, I met some amazing, amazing people. I shared a story yesterday on a live stream about my friend Moshe, and just the tenderizing of my heart while I was there, because there was so much love being outpoured. Now, you can say that, oh, well, everybody was on the honeymoon period, right? Because everybody's meeting for the first time face to face, so everybody's being in their best mode. And that is only good for so long until you start entering into a place of intimacy. And what I mean by that is that an environment has been set up to really trip you up in order to liberate you. And this is a place where there is freedom and security, where the spirit and the presence of that which comforts you is all around you, so that the walls already start coming down. So I just described worship. That is to expose so that you can heal. It's not for you to feel good. It's not meant for you, although it does. It's not meant for you to use it as a drug. It is not meant for you to escape. I just have to feel the Father's love. That's escapism. What it is it is setting you up so that you can be vulnerable. And what happens when you provide an environment for that, it doesn't have to be music, but it's pretty amazing when you have certain tones and certain frequencies and languages that have a vibratory frequency that is coming through, that is directly connected to not only your DNA, to your heart, how the walls come tumbling down and the realness of you starts getting exposed. And you will see a couple things happen. People that are afraid of intimacy will leave. The others who are not afraid of intimacy will stay. And then this allows the spirit to begin to work a massage on your heart and take that beautiful, comforting energy to begin to do shadow work. So in the process of that, we didn't start the week out like that. It's like when we went and we decided to come together as a group, all we did is we were like, well, we're going to have a loose gathering here, right? So we're going to meet from this time to this time. We're going to have some play days so we can go see what's going on in Crestone and see waterfalls and see sand dunes and go do some portals, some energy portals, and just have fun as family. And then have time for us to talk, to get to know each other. But we also had some loose gathering, and it was the Holy Spirit. We were like, the Ruach HaKodesh, we were allowing room for the ministering spirits to come in and aid us. in whatever needed to be done for whatever the gathering was about. And so we didn't set an environment right away of, I'm using worship, I'm doing the fingers, because we all have our own ideas about what worship is. But I'm just saying, setting an environment for intimacy. Okay. We didn't start doing that until about midweek, but that's when the walls began to crack. This is when true hearts were being exposed. And because people were willing to surrender into that, because the room had been safe, then other things were being exposed. Now, transparency is a gift that we give other people. And it can be scary. But the question in that is, do you trust yourself in those transparent moments? Because it has nothing to do with about trusting other people. It's about trusting you in those transparent moments. So let's go back to conditioning here. A lot of us have been conditioned in the social normal acceptance to not make people feel uncomfortable. I mean, I have said this, and I've had several conversations this week with people that have said, I just don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. I don't want them to, feel strange or feel awkward or feel like I'm greater than them, or that they feel like they're lesser than me. I just don't want them to feel. Well, first of all, it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you. You don't want to feel uncomfortable. I mean, because that's the truth of it, right? So I don't want to feel uncomfortable by crying in front of you. I don't want to feel comfortable because I just entered into reliving a memory and I'm trying to purge it out. And I am so afraid of how you're going to look at me right now because it looks like I don't have my shit together. And I'm sitting here sharing with you from my heart, exposing it, crying and screaming out in this moment because there's something that's being revealed to me and I am scared to death that I'm making you feel uncomfortable. Really it is. I feel uncomfortable because I am showing you a very transparent portion of my heart that hurts right now. And I really don't know what you're going to do with it, because honestly, the reason why I'm scared is because I haven't done it very well when other people have done it. And so now I'm looking at myself going, how can I make my environment more safe for people? Because I need that. I need that for me so that I can trust me that in my moment of excavation into this shadow side of where the pain and suffering is that I continue to allow in my life and continue to beat myself up with, how can I make myself safe so that those things can be transmuted and brought back into my heart as completely rendered clear in neutrality, in unconditional love in the moment. So the point of saying all of that, when we make that space for us within, it automatically makes that space without for other people to enter into it. So when I said that transparency is a gift, it is that which we give to another person to invite them into the same place of transparency, because they have seen, they have felt, they have been experienced in that moment to know that the water is safe and they can get into it as well. You automatically grant them permission because you chose to expose something, to become vulnerable and to become transparent. Because if we choose not to do that, we are robbing them of the experience they need, which is our experience that we need. It's not about the individual, I'm protecting myself. Bullshit. You're hindering somebody else, right? You're not only hindering yourself, but you're hindering somebody else to enter into this beautiful sea of tears, of healing, of restoration. And you know what's so beautiful about this, Kandra? And I know you know this because you've experienced it. The bonds that you create with people, when you allow yourself to enter into those transparent moments with one another, that you're willing to say, I don't have all my shit together yet, but I'm allowing you to see a piece to my heart. because I'm learning to trust. Those bonds will never be broken. This is what Ken and I call marvelous comrades.